Hey, what's up everybody? It's Saturday over here at the sheepdog place, and we're gonna work on some more Sergeant Major here. I had to do some things, and we ain't gonna be able to finish it 100% today, but we'll get it looking right. You'll see what it looks like with the Cabmates on there. So let me show you what I did already, and then we'll get started. So before we get started on the Sergeant Major, let's take a look at the bike. I got it out yesterday. I got a new windshield on it. This is an 8-inch windshield. Now the bike originally comes with a 6-inch windshield. I thought I needed I knew I needed a better windshield, and this company, the way they curve them, the air goes up even higher. So you don't have to have a tall windshield just to block the wind. You just have to have that curve they've designed, and it throws it up over your head. Well, I had a 10-inch, which is right over there. That's the one that was on it. And I got this from Freedom Shields. Here, let me, oh, my camera's acting all weird. Okay. Let me pick the paper up. There we go. Freedom Shields. Look them up online if you need a windshield. Get the one that fits your height. That's you'll be happy you did. So anyway, so yeah, that was the 10-inch I had on it, and it was right at my eyesight, right in the middle of my eyes when I sat proper. So I figured 2 inches lower and got this one. I haven't ridden it yet, but you'll definitely hear what I think about it. But yeah, I'm thinking it's gonna be great. So with that said, let's go check out the Sergeant Major. Now, we'll start off right here with the box. Now, let's see if I can get you a little closer. Right there. Oh yeah. So you can see I got the, there we go. I got the new nuts on. Well, you can see what they are. I'll just call them nuts, but you can see what they are. Nuts with welded washers. How's that? And then that's one single piece that goes from that bolt to that bolt. And that sits on there. So anyway, I got all 3 bolts in, and I'll tell you why. Because I had to use things like this to put on the nut to hold it down so I could get underneath and screw the bolt on to get it started. And I had to come up with all kinds of ways, and a wrench was the last thing I could use, and the wrench wasn't really there to help me screw it on. It was just there to hold it in place so it wouldn't bounce around. Anyway, I even had to use the big boy right there. But it's just it's not too long, it's too fat. It's a 1-inch drive, or 3/4 inch drive, sorry. And I have to put a reducer on it and then a socket, and with all that, it was just too much. So, but what we've got done, if I can get my camera to go a little faster, we've got this bad boy on, as you can see. I got all 3 bolts in. I got it oriented. I cleaned up the holes where the bolts go in. I cleaned up the holes. Them are new bolts that was sent with the Cabmate kit. I put anti-seize on the threads, and I tightened them down. And and I also painted the bottom of. Hold on here. I painted the bottom of this under here, right? I cleaned it all up, and it was looking pretty rough, but it's still good. I cleaned it all up, and then I sprayed anti-rust Rust-Oleum on there. So hopefully it'll slow down the rot. I don't know. We'll just deal with it when we deal with it. And I got this laying in there. This is in its spot where it's going to get bolted down, right? And it does not hit this box at all. There's a inch in there, 3/4 to an inch in there, so it'll be all right. I don't have to move that box like they tell you to, which is good for me because I don't want to move it. Yeah, I'll have to take this out in order to work on that box when the day comes, but I'll deal with it then. All right, I'll deal with it then. I just don't want to move that box. I'd have to take this frame apart and everything to get it out from where it's at, out around the other side. And I just don't want to do all that work. I'm afraid I'll make it worse than it is now, which is fine. As far as I know, everything operates just fine right there, so I'm just going to leave it alone. All right, so what we're going to do now is I'm going to take you over the other side where I thought I was videoing, but it turns out I wasn't. So. All right, so what we got here, I've already got this bolt loose and this bolt loose. This bolt came out the easiest. This wasn't bad at all, but the one on the other side, which I'm going to try and get to, it's just hard to do it. Ouch. Okay, there we go. Back it up, back it up. There we go. So this bolt right here is not wanting to come out. So what I've done is I sprayed the top where the nut, you know, where it attaches to the nut side. I've sprayed that heavily with some Freol, and I sprayed this here with Freol and right up in here with Freol, and we're gonna let it soak for a while and go back at it. So while we're waiting for that, I'm gonna try and take these nuts and bolts out and remove that cradle, because we're no longer gonna need that. So let's see if I can get you set up where you can see pretty good. And see here, this is what them look like that go to them bolts that go through there. This is a single one, but on the back side, it's a double one, or it's connected. There's one connect on the other over here. Yeah, you'll see it when I get it out. But anyway. See how that does. All right. Freol, y'all can't go wrong. I'm probably too close. Freol, can't go wrong. It's good stuff. Got it from old two-stroker on YouTube. Old two-stroker. He's, as far as I know, him and I are the only ones that use it. I ain't seen nobody else using it, but there you go. But okay, so I'm gonna stop the video right now because I got to go get the wrenches. All right, you probably can't see this one because it's probably right behind here, but I'm working on the one on the back. Oh boy. I don't even know if you guys can see what I'm doing. Not really, huh? All right, I already got that one towards the outside loose. Figures. That's not what I wanted to happen. All right, I found it. I'll put it back on there until I get the rest of them out. Now these over here are gonna have to be done with a, why'd they put them upside down? Idiots! Probably the best way to go anyway. Well, they're coming loose. Yep, that's gonna take a minute, but maybe I can use it. Get it loose enough, and maybe I can bust the bolt loose with my my battery operated. 3/4. I think. Get the hell out of here. Jumping Jehoshaphat. Why do you keep running? Oh, there it is. Okay, I see it. All right. Oh, where'd the damn nut go? Go figure. Well, they must have both fell down. I didn't hear them fall. Weird. Oh, I think the one was in the wrench. Okay, we got that one. I can clean these up and reuse them. I don't know what I did with the ones that were on the other side. I thought I broke some of them. But anyway. Won't be able to use them. I gotta beat them out of there. Well, this one should be, I don't know why that one was spinning. Should come out. Oh, for Pete's sakes. Dadgummit, man. Oh. Oh, that hurts. Seriously. Get out of here, B. Ain't nothing over here for you, buddy. This one, yeah, this one's got to be different. Hate to use a hammer when I don't have to, but on this one I guess I do. Looks like I didn't hurt nothing though, so that's all that matters. Yep, I should be able to clean them back up. Put them in. Oh, there we go. Alright, so let's back this off. There we go. Easy. Yeah, it's gonna work real good. Real good. I just got to get that other bolt out. There we go. And that over there. Get this. Where'd the nut go to it? That's the $1 million question. It ain't there. It must have fell on the ground, which means I got to go find that. And before I do that, I'm going to see if I can get this bolt out now. You probably ain't watching me, so. Oh, yeah, you are. Wow. Well, that bites. All right, I'm gonna have to go take a break and do some thinking, so I'll be back. All right, we're gonna break out the big boy. Oh, come on. Really? Wow. You're just amazing. Okay. Oh, crap. What did I do? Got the wrong one on there? Oh, I do. No, I don't. Yeah, that fits. There we go. I feel like the bolt's gonna break. I like to keep pressure on it for a little bit instead of just keep pushing it. Pretty sure this just came off. Yep. Oh, for Pete's sakes, get out of here. Yep, fall down. That's good, that's good. Hit your head. Yep, that's good. Oh. Oh, boy, that thing is in there. Well, I'm gonna spray it some more. I mean, I don't know what. I think it'll come eventually. If it don't, I'll have to get some heat on it. Sam hell. Look at that. Just notice that. Look at here. I don't understand why they did that. Imagine that rotted out. It's probably on the not really. That's not on there. Yeah, that's a little weird. Huh. Oh, I see what they did. They added this piece. This piece was rotted out, rusted, or whatever, so they just added this piece right here. Yeah, it goes right to there. That's what these two bolts are for, to hold this L bracket in there. Wow. I don't know. Yeah, I can fill that up with once I put that new piece on there. Of course, it's going to sit on there, right? So I can fill this. I can clean this out, put some spacers in there or something. That'll be all right. Yep, but I'm gonna have to work on that a little bit more, get that one out. I don't understand why that one's so bad, so bad. It's that one right there. I don't, you know, this box wasn't as dirty as the other box was. There wasn't no rain in here, nothing, no water or nothing, so I don't know why that one's such a beast. But we'll get it. Once I get it broke free, we'll bring it back. Hey everybody, how's it going? I'm Sheepdog. Welcome to Sheepdog Logic. Alright, so this is the last part. I'm adding this. Today is Wednesday, the 9th. The first part of this video was last Saturday. And so I'm going to update you on the finish of that them Cabmates. Okay, the last part you seen me video, I have one bolt that is messed up. After I cut the film, and I said I'd come back once I figured it out. Well, off film, I put that big bar back on there with that socket, and I just went ahead and pulled as hard as I could, and it broke. It broke the bolt. So there's a positive there. The bolts actually rusted, I'll say rusted into the spring mount, right? It's where the bolt goes up through the spring. It's rusted in that shaft. That's where it's rusted. And here's the other good news. The nut, remember I'm calling it a nut because I don't know what else to call it. This is the nut that goes to that bolt is connected to another nut. So there's a bar in between that connects these two nuts together. So that's a problem, but only for a minute. The good news is that bolt is actually turning on that bar. I mean on that bolt. Okay, so the bolt, first off, the bolt is rusted into the shaft of the spring mount, which we're replacing the spring mount. So if the shaft is, if it's rusted in the shaft, I don't care. So that don't bother me. Get out of here, fly. Anyway, so the nut's loose on top. So here's what I got to do. That you got the two nuts, and then you got the bar in between, the steel plate in between them, holding them together. That's how they did it. So what I'm going to do is, this is the nut that's turning on that bolt that's stuck, rusted into the spring mount. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut that plate that goes from nut to nut, right? Goes from nut to nut. I'm going to cut it right next to this nut, so I can spin that nut freely, right? And unscrew it from that bolt. And then I should be able to take that spring mount all the way off. No problem. I was going to do that Sunday, and I was going to videotape Sunday. But what did we get Sunday? Rain, you know. All day, nothing but rain. Nothing major, just rain. You know, it wasn't a monsoon or nothing. It was just rain. So I couldn't get, you know, any of my electronic stuff out or nothing. I couldn't do that. I get all my tools out and get them out. I ain't doing that. So Sunday was a no-go. So I left Sunday night to come down here to Martin. That's where I'm at right now. And Monday, what did I do? Why did I go? So Monday I needed to get some more cigars. So I went up to my normal place up here in Grand Rapids, 28th Street. He's my go-to guy. But lately he's just been out of a lot of stuff. And so 2 weekends ago, not last weekend, but the weekend before that, I got some cigars from Big Rapids Smoke Shop in Big Rapids, just past the college, going south on Old 131, if any of you are familiar with that. So Monday, this week Monday, I went all the way, I went to my cigar shop on 20th Street. Nope, no go. Okay, fine, I'm going up to Big Rapids. I called them first. Yep, they got what I want. So I went all the way up there. And since I ran up there, I went ahead and went home to see my wife. This is the update. Our dog, okay, we have had a full-blooded, no papers, but full-blooded American Pit Bull Terrier. This is the original Pit Bull, folks, not the ones you see all over the news and on YouTube and all. Them are bully pits or bully pups or whatever they call them. They're not the original Pit Bull though. We had the original Pit Bull. Okay, and the funny thing is that we got that dog 12 years ago. I'd say 12 years ago, something like that, 11, 12 years ago, down in Tennessee. My wife was getting out of the truck. She didn't want to drive anymore. She wanted to stay home. So I was going out on the road, over the road, and I wanted to find her a companion. Something, you know, as men, we need to make sure our family's protected when we're gone and when we're home, right? All the time. So I was looking for a dog that could be trained if necessary to protect her while I was gone. The funny thing about that was she was looking for the same thing and never told me. I never told her. We found the same exact dog the same day. Weird, right? Weird. She texts me, says she found a dog, sent a picture. I'm like, that's funny. I just found that dog 2 hours ago. And it's a free dog. All right, we'll check him out. So we meet the guy. Dog's awesome. Looks awesome. He's probably not even a year old at the time. 9, 10 months, maybe 10, 11 months, somewhere, 9 to 11 months, somewhere around there. And great dog. Freaking great dog. Anybody that doesn't like pit bulls, you're ignorant, okay? You're just ignorant. I'm sorry, but you're ignorant. Well, I'm not sorry. Ignorant's not a bad word. I'm ignorant about how to fly a helicopter. I don't know how to fly a helicopter. Don't put me in one because I'll freaking kill somebody. You know what I'm saying? I'm ignorant in flying a helicopter. Don't know how. That means you're ignorant. That's all that word means, people, so don't get offended. So if you think pit bulls are dangerous, I'm not just the name pit bull, not the actual dog itself, but you think pit bulls are dangerous, well, then you're ignorant. They get a bad rap. They really do. Because of the way they were bred, the way the majority of the population raised them, had them, yada, yada, yada. Okay, I mean, come on. A pit bull is actually one of the best dogs for family protection. And pit bulls love their family. They absolutely love their family. And anyway, I'm getting off on that. It was a great dog, and so we went ahead and got him and brought him home. I named him Sarge, right? I'm a former military guy. I love military. So we named him Sarge. My wife didn't have a problem with it. We didn't know it at the time, but it was going to be her dog, right? Dogs all have to have a leader or at least a follower. They can't. They can be by themselves, but they're not. That's not how they're made. That's not how they're designed to be. So, because I was over the road and the dog was at home with my wife, she became his leader. Period. And you can easily tell when a dog's locked on to somebody that they consider their leader or their master, however you want to put it. Watch their eyes. That's all you got to do. That will tell you who the master is, who the leader is in the house. Just watch their eyes. Who are they always looking at? Who are they always watching? So anyway, so my wife was actually the leader of the dog. So it was her dog, per se. We don't claim to own any animals because I don't believe in owning animals. I don't. If it was up to me, there would be no circuses, there'd be no zoos, there'd be no water parks with animals, there'd be no captivity of any animals. Dogs and cats are domesticated. You can have one at your house. I'm not saying that. I'm talking about bears, lions, tigers, all them. Sea World, you know. I just don't believe in it. They weren't meant to be kept in captivity. They were meant to be free in their own home, right? So anyway, I'm going off on a tangent again. So Monday I go home. When was it? Saturday? Friday we had to take the dog Sarge to the vet because he had a growth on his shoulder. Now I'm going to get more into that here in a minute because I got to say something about that. So she took him to the vet. Well, he was sick when he went to the vet that day, and I didn't know that. I didn't know he was sick. When she walked him out to put him in the car, he didn't look sick. I thought he was nervous. He was a nervous pit. Okay, nervous. That's bad. That's bad mojo. You don't want a nervous dog, period. But anyway, he just looked like he knew something was up. So he was kind of like in that submissive mode, and he got in the car and everything. But I didn't know he was sick, so that's just all I thought. And so she took him to the vet and came back with real bad news. They wanted to euthanize him right then and there. Well, we don't. I'm not gonna do that when we weren't expecting that. No, bring him home. Let's talk about it. And that's what we did. We talked about it Friday and Saturday and Sunday. Yeah, and then I went to work Sunday and I came back home Monday. Like after I went to Big Rapids to get my cigars, I went home. Well, I was there just hanging out with the wife, and out comes the dog into his yard, and he's going to take a leak. This is what told me how sick he was, and it really bothers me. He pissed blood. Okay, I don't know if any of y'all know what that means, but when you piss blood, you're in bad shape. And I found out after that he had peed twice, and the urine was more orange at that time. Well, when I seen it, it was red. It was obviously blood. You can't miss it. So I told my wife. She saw it. I saw it. So we both looked at each other and said, "That's really bad. Yeah, that's really freaking bad. There's nothing you can do for that. You got to do surgery. You got to do all. I mean." And that's what they were looking at doing anyway, was this exploratory surgery. Well, that can get into tens of thousands of dollars. So we were going to throw all kinds of natural products at him like we do ourselves. I told my wife, I said, you need to do some research on this. And she did. And she found some things, and we were going to throw it at him. Clean this stuff out, fix him. That's what we were going to do. But once he pissed that blood, it was over. So we called the vet. That was Sunday. No, Monday. We called the vet Monday, and she did, and they said, yeah, we can take care of him today. So we took him Monday. I went with him, and they euthanized him, and now he's gone. And I feel really bad about that. Okay, and here's why I feel really bad about it. Who am I? I'm Sheepdog, right? That's what you guys know me as. But I'm also this. I'm the man in the family, okay? I've got a wife, I've got 5 kids, I got 6 grandkids. I'm the head of the household. And unfortunately, I haven't been living that way for a while. I've just been kind of half-assing it, you know, in life. Driving truck, going to work, coming home, work, blah, blah, blah. Well, after Sarge passed, and I had to deal with that emotionally. I had to think about that, you know. It's my fault that he's even dead. Well, let's go back a little further. We've had 3 dogs in our family since my wife and I got together, and you know, we had this family, 5 kids and whatnot. We've had 3 dogs. Our first dog that we got was Bear. We named him Bear. He was half Saint Bernard and half German Shepherd. Beautiful dog, great dog. I was young at that time, and he had hip dysplasia, and he was dragging his back feet, and we just figured put him down. Well, he was like 13 or 14 at the time, so you know, big dogs have hip dysplasia, and you know, there ain't much you can do about it. So we put him down. Look, euthanization, you know, shot over in seconds. But let's not get into that argument, okay? Second dog we got, we didn't even get this dog. It just showed up at our house one day, and we named it Puppy because we were going to find a home for it. We weren't going to keep it. Well, we ended up we didn't really keep it. He just stayed around, okay? Like I said, we don't own dogs. We don't keep dogs. They either run away and never come back, or they're going to stay there. That's their choice. I don't make their choice for them. We lived out in the country down in Tennessee and up on a mountain, and when Puppy showed up, Bear was still around, and Bear would take Puppy out for 3 or 4 days, gone. And then he'd come back all by himself, right? He had done this with a few dogs in the past. He'd take them out and lose them somewhere. He'd come back all by himself. They'd never come back. Well, Puppy came back. He was the only dog that Bear ever took out that he would bring back. And so he stuck around. We fed him and watered him, and Puppy actually got hit by a car 3 different times, got in a fight with coyotes 4 different times. My wife and the kids would mend him up in the house, and then after a week or so, he'd be back fit. You know, he'd limp a little bit and here and there, but scars but he was all right. You know, he was a good dog, hell of a dog. We'd go for 4-wheeler rides down the back roads, down the mountain. They had all kinds of trails in Tennessee. You could spend a whole weekend and never go home. I mean, it's crazy. We'd get to where we were going, and within a half hour, we hear something walking through the woods. Well, it was Puppy. He followed us all the way there. And would he come to us? And no, he'd actually come to the foot of the path or the entrance to where we're at or something like that. He maybe 20 feet from us, and he'd lay right there. See, that's what dogs. That's a great dog. That's an awesome dog. Puppy got. Well, me and my wife went trucking, so somebody had to watch Puppy. Well, we let Puppy be watched by somebody we shouldn't have let watch him. Then we gave somebody else a chance to watch him, and we shouldn't have let them watch him. He ended up dying he was just he overate, he was lonely, he got sick, and he died. So that's 2. Bear got dysplasia, couldn't walk anymore, he died. Puppy got overfed, lonely, and just died. And now Sarge, the 3rd dog, we had to put down. And I'm taking full responsibility for all 3 of them dogs. Not my wife, not my kids, nobody, me. And the reason I'm taking full responsibility is because I'm the man of the house. I should have, with Bear, I was unknowledgeable. Well, maybe you should have went out and got fucking knowledgeable, right? And with Puppy, it was a lesson learned, but at his loss, right? So I'll never make the mistake with Bear again. I'll never make the mistake I made with Puppy again. It'll never be made with Sarge again. Those 3 mistakes will never be ever made again. Never. If God provides us with another dog, I will take charge, and I will make sure that dog gets taken care of. I ain't trying to throw nobody under the bus here, but Sarge had that thing on his shoulder for over a year. It was small, and then it kept growing and growing. I know for a fact, if I would have took Sarge to the vet, got that removed, he'd have been fine and still living today. I know that. I believe that with all my heart. So that's the update. Why I haven't updated a video. I have a video, and you're gonna see it shortly. Of course, you're already watching it right now. I'm making it right now, but when you see this, you're already watching. Okay, so I'm gonna add this part to that last part y'all would have seen if I'd have uploaded it, but I didn't because it didn't have an ending. Well, this is the ending. And I also want to talk about Lieutenant Watermelon there, okay? I also uploaded a video that was part 1 of part 3, right? We were doing a full service on that thing. Well, that part 2 is going to have to come later, and part 3 is going to have to come later, if there is a part 3. But the reason being is it took quite a while to service this truck, okay? And one battery had run out, another battery, and it takes too long to charge them. I had to get that service done that day. I couldn't spread it out over a week. I don't do that. when I service my truck, it all gets done at once. I change the oil, change all the filters. That's the fuel filters, the oil filters, and the coolant filter, and the air filters. Now, the air filters get changed every 50,000 miles. The cab filter, probably going to do the same because nobody really has a consensus on that. Freightliner said a year maybe. I don't think a year, especially in the summertime. Wintertime maybe. Maybe I can go all winter, change it, in the fall, or the fall, and then spring change it again, right? And change it after a few months in the spring. I don't know. Well, I'll figure it out. But I do all that, and then I got to grease the whole truck. And by the way, there's 4 grease zerks on the back, and that's 1 per S-cam shaft, and then on the front there's 9. So there's 2 on each kingpin. There's 4. There's 1 on each end of the steering. I'm still learning them words. The longest bar that goes from side to side, the steering stabilizer, whatever it's called. There's 1 on each end of that. So there's 2. So there's 4. There's 6. There's 1 on the power steering pump. There's 7. And the S-cam shaft, each one. So there's 9. So 9 and 4, 13 grease zerks on that whole truck. If somebody out there thinks they know where another one's at, please let me know. I'll look for it. If it's there, I'll do it. There are no grease zerks on the slack adjusters. There are no grease zerks on the drive shaft. I had a buddy last summer. He swore up and down there was grease zerks on that drive shaft. So he crawled under the truck and he looked for them. He never found them. Anyway, so that's the update on Lieutenant Watermelon. And I just told you about Sarge, our dog, and gave you the update on the Sergeant Major. So this weekend when I get back to the house, I will continue on. I'll bring you back aboard, and you'll see me cut that piece of metal that goes from nut to nut right here at this nut. That's where I'm going to cut it with a cutoff wheel. And I should be able to thread that nut right off and drop that spring right down, put up the new piece on the top, and then by then I'll have the bolts, nuts, and washers and lock for the bottom 2 pieces, so we'll bolt them down. I still can't let the cab down. I got to hook up all the hydraulic hoses. So what I'm going to do is replace that pump with the new pump. Since I got to hook up air lines anyway for the airbags on the Cabmates, they both have airbags, so you got to hook up air lines for those to inflate, which means I need a leveler valve in the back, right? Yeah. Hey, never done it, but we'll figure it out. And I also got to hook up all the hydraulic lines to each Cabmate, to the system itself. So I might as well replace that pump with the new pump, and I might as well plumb in the air line for the new pump as well as the Cabmate airbags. So come back Monday, I think, maybe Monday or Tuesday. Look for a new video Monday and Tuesday. This one should be out tonight, so you'll see it. Today's Wednesday, so you'll see this one Thursday. You'll see another one Monday or Tuesday. Okay, so watch for that. And yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and edit this video and upload it tonight. Y'all have a good one. Take care of your animals, or take care of the animals that are in your care. Take care of them, seriously. If you can't take care of them, give them to somebody that can, or let somebody else have them that will take care of them. And men, doesn't matter if you're the leader or not. If your wife's the leader, your oldest kid's the leader, it doesn't matter. You're the man. Make sure it gets done. Whatever it is, make sure it gets done. And that's all I got to say about that. So y'all have a good rest of your Wednesday night. I got a heck of a work week this week. Tomorrow ain't gonna be much different. So thanks for watching the video, and thanks to all the subscribers. I really, truly appreciate it. I really do. It gives me reason to keep putting up videos. So, all right, y'all have a good one.